It's time for another carrier product update. Tune in as we talk directly to the carriers about their new plans, any new network options they have, or which plan designs offer the most savings, and learn about the tools and resources they offer to help you generate more business. Visit our website to learn about all of the carriers we quote in our Carrier Product Update series. Hello and welcome back to our Carrier Product Update series. Today I'm joined by Greg Kane, Sales Executive of Group Benefits Division at Principal Financial Group. Welcome back, Greg.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. I heard you got a lot of accolades this last recording, so it's time to update everybody on what's going on with Principal.
Yes, sir. A lot of shout outs last year.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Well, we want to make sure that we arm you, the broker, with as much information as possible as you go out and prospect for new clients. And so we'll get started. So what if for a broker that's never sold Principal, what's the important thing that they need to know about Principal as a company and your position in the market?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I mean, Principal Financial Group and Principal Life, we're a traditional ancillary carrier, a non-medical space, focusing on, life insurance, disability, dental, vision. And then recently, in the last few years, we've kind of expanded our portfolio and include worksite benefits, hospital indemnity, critical illness, and accident coverage. And so that's kind of the product suite. But I think we're built on small employers, being strong partners to our broker community, being easy to work with.
For sure, I know at least in our experience and my experience as a broker before Legacy. But over the last 10 years as a general agent working with Principal, I know our team really does feel that it's a partnership amongst our two companies, and we certainly see the support that you give as a carrier in the marketplace, and then the products that you have in your portfolio I think fill the void for a lot of these groups that are trying to give a good employee benefit package to their employees to help them recruit, retain, or reinforce their culture.
Right. Yeah, I would say, we're more than obviously just products and kind of the history. It really comes down to people, right? And I think we are a people company. We really value our personal relationships within the office. Of course, it extends out to our broker partners, and that's probably the one thing that I think differentiates us the most. Is that local sales and support team. Our focus really, 2 lives and up. It's essentially that same sales and support team, any case size, but our bread and butter really is that small employer fit.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the product portfolio. So these are the lines you offer.
Yep.
The different size groups, different segments, I would say, right?
Yeah, so we talked earlier. I kind of briefly went over the laundry list of benefits we work with. It's here on the slideshow as well. We do start at 2 lives, so 2 employees up. Really there is no ceiling, although it does say here 5,000 enrolled lives. I'd say, if we're going to get large case, go above what headquarters would say is our sweet spot, which is again small employers under 200 lives. I think we're progressively better as we get smaller. But if we go above that threshold, I think we're comfortable playing with, and we have success, earning business up to that 5,000 life threshold. Above that, that's we're really not built to write the jumbo cases, but if you look here, 2 lives and up for employer paid. We can do voluntary coverages across the board, but we do need at least 5 eligible to play in the voluntary space. That's a pretty low threshold. A lot of our competition does draw the line in the sand a little bigger than that. Now that's 5 eligible. We only need 2 enrolled. So 5 eligible to quote it, 2 enrolled to write it, and then of course to complement what we do in that larger case arena, we do offer some self-funded solutions on dental, short-term disability and vision insurance.
Sure, that makes sense. And I think the core benefits, the dental, the vision, the life, maybe even the disability, I think probably are the core benefits that we see a lot. But something that you've been talking to me about for a long time, and my good friend Rob had been trying to get me on board with some of these things before. If we go back in time, back in the way back machine, is supplemental benefits. And these are things that I know as a broker I didn't really spend a whole lot of time really marketing, but as a general agent and working with agents out in the market, these are products that can really fill a need particularly for the kind of plan designs we see on the medical side.
Right. Yeah. I think when we talk about what's new at Principal, I think this is new. Our most recent additions to our portfolio have been these types of products. Critical illness was rolled out for us 7 or 8 years ago. Accident followed quickly after. We just introduced hospital indemnity in the last 6 months or so, and in the Midwest we're licensed, we're filed and approved in every state. There are some pockets out there that we're still working through the filing process, but these are products that are new to us, but not so much challenges for us to place. I would say 1 out of every 3 groups I sell have one of these products attached to it, and it goes to the point you just made. I mean, a lot of employees from an employee benefit package. There's some risk. There's some financial exposure there from the medical plan. The high deductible plans, kind of deliver that obvious potential risk from an employee perspective on out-of-pocket expenses, and these products are built to help contain that a little bit.
Well, let's dive into one. So, critical illness, I think, was the first one that you have here. What when I think of critical illness, I think of some of the commercials I see on TV for certain products. But it's more than that, right? We're not talking about cancer only or one specific medical condition. This has kind of a broad spectrum of conditions that it covers.
Correct. Yeah, I mean the list is pretty long, but yeah, the big ones are cancer, heart attack, stroke, things like that. Again, it's built to bridge that financial gap from a health insurance perspective, and it also can do more than that as well. The employee isn't obligated to use our benefit proceeds to pay just for the deductible. They can use it forever they want to use it, but the need kind of arises from that health insurance plan design.
Right. There's a lot of financial obligation built into these high deductible plans where they've got maybe they're okay with a smaller copay on your day-to-day office visits and prescriptions, but the real scary sticker shock number is the high deductible, high out-of-pocket maximum. And that's where this can really bridge that gap.
Correct. Yeah, so if you look here, again, we just kind of mentioned these. Cancer, heart attack,
common diseases.
We talk about how's the plan structured, and so a common question is, can something be covered more than once? And the answer is yes. We will pay for the same illness, multiple times. We can pay for different illnesses, several times. There is a lifetime max within the contract, and so whatever the scheduled benefit is, we'll pay 2 times that amount. And once that employee or member hits that 2 times amount, we will automatically take them off the plan and stop billing for them. So obviously they'll be on the plan and be paying premium up until the situation where they do maximize the benefit. But it's really, how often does that happen? Probably not often, but it could. And if it does, we'll take them off. And that's a standard, provision in most critical illness contracts. Got it.
So then, let's see the next slide here, Bob. So then more of the covered critical illnesses we have here. Walk me through this slide here. I looked at this one pre-show, and this is where I get outside my comfort zone, being the guy that sells a lot of medical. So
right. So this will really get into the details of the product, right? I mean, the critical illness, unlike disability insurance, where there's a lot of variables, we can really dig into a lot of the facets of that contract. It's kind of black and white. It kind of is what it is, and these are kind of the listed, illnesses that are covered, and how the plan's going to pay, right? So if you look at those top 2 on the left-hand side, carcinoma in situ, coronary artery disease, we're going to limit the benefit to 25% of what the employee elected. So if the employee elected $10,000 of coverage through a critical illness offering, then if those claims were submitted, we'd only pay $2,500. Again, common in the industry. The bottom 4 there: heart attack, invasive cancer, organ failure, stroke. We're going to pay the full amount elected for those. And of course, we talk about first occurrence only. So again, you go down that list. I mean, skin cancer, we're going to do, one diagnosis of skin cancer, we're going to pay $250. Or, the first diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease, we're going to pay the full benefit. Yeah. And then of course, we also have child-specific illnesses as well.
Got it. Valuable benefits, for sure. And those are all. I mean, I look at that list of illnesses. Those are all scary ones to think about. And someone on a high deductible plan, knowing that they've got a benefit there to help them cover not only their deductible expenses, but like you mentioned, I mean, some of the other, I'd say ancillary expenses that come along with getting
travel,
diagnosed with. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Loss of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it points to this right here. I mean, you talk about like well, what do these benefits really kind of cater to? It is that financial risk and exposure to a major medical event, but it really kind of points to like the first bullet there. The medical deductibles and copays. You got loss of income, childcare expenses, travel costs. All this stuff are results of that major medical event, as listed in the prior slide. So, yep.
All right. So not just critical illness. I guess more key features on critical illness.
Yeah, it keeps going. So yeah, again, like we're going to deliver coverage for both the employee and families. I don't know if this is. I'm not sure how unique this is with Principal, but I'll tell you, if the employee elects coverage, the child is covered automatically, no premium. So if the employee elects coverage, any eligible child is on the plan, regardless of even enrollment. They're on the plan. And they're covered under the policy, and there's no premium in that regard. They can also elect spouse coverage. And then there is a wellness.
So back up there, because I mean I think that's critical to understand. It's a composite premium for employees, and it includes families regardless of whether or not, right?
It includes the child premium.
It includes the child.
Yeah.
Premium.
So there's going to be it's priced a lot like voluntary life. It's going to be age banded rates.
Okay.
So every 5 year age band, the rate will likely increase. Spouse will have their own rate table similar to the employee rate table. If the employee elects coverage and they have eligible children, the child's covered automatically.
Got it.
No questions asked.
Okay, so then it's the spouse is separate. It's a separate
Correct.
Premium, but the kids are always covered. Okay.
Correct. Yep. The health screening benefit right there. That's just a wellness exam benefit. We default to $50. There was some flexibility there, but it's just a way to get some money back from the plan. So because this is truly as an insurance product, right? So unlike dental or vision, where you buy those products to use them,
right?
You're buying critical illness in hopes that you never have to use them. You might have a family history with some of these potential concerns, but you're really hoping you never have to use this. So you're paying premium for an insurance product. Well, the health screening allows the member to get money back, and we default to $50, and that's each member on the plan. So that's the employee, the spouse, and all the children. If they have a wife and 3 kids, all 5 of you can get a health screening benefit back every year.
Wow. So that's I mean, I think something that's important for someone to realize as they're sitting down with a group of employees talking about that kind of benefit. All the health plans out there include preventative care at no cost. So going in for their yearly wellness screening, filing the claim under their critical illness, they get a $50 reimbursement.
Right.
For something that didn't cost them anything under their health plan to start
Correct.
with. So
correct, yeah.
Got it.
So it's just a way to get it really reduces their overall premium and puts money back in their pocket.
Yeah.
And then similar to all 3 of these products, it is portable. So the employee can take this if they leave, the employer, the policy, that they can take it with them with a portability provision.
And it's guaranteed issue. Or proof of good health is not required here, so that there's no medical underwriting.
Correct. Yeah. So great question. If they're timely, it's guarantee issued. It works almost exactly like voluntary life.
Okay.
So if they enroll when they're first eligible, guarantee issued, and there'll be limits to it. The max benefit is usually $50,000. Case size will determine how high that guarantee issue will be. But as long as they come on timely, they can get access to the guarantee issue level, and then the portability is also guarantee issue. They can take what they have in force with them. If they're a late entrant, then a statement of health is required.
Sure, just
Yep.
like Vol Life. Got it.
Yep.
Now we move on to another product.
Right.
Yeah. So accident's something that I feel like this is new, or is this?
We've been marketing accident for about 3 or 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jason
okay.
Jason doesn't talk about accident policies a lot. So this is something that we certainly want brokers to take out as they go into Q4, and they're delivering renewals is another one of those benefits that they can add on.
Yeah, I would say in our space, the accident product and the critical illness are the 2 that sell the most. And again, like I said, about 1 out of every 3 cases that we sell will have one of these attached, and a lot of it's because of our flexibility in the marketplace for participation. We only need 2 employees enrolled to write these products. Okay. So the accident product, I mean, like you mentioned, like the commercials we see on the radio, it works. I mean, just like what we see there. Other than, I think our product is positioned a little differently, in my opinion, it's much easier to navigate and receive value and benefit back from our plan as opposed to the traditional plan you might see in the marketplace. And what I mean by that is we have a lump sum benefit philosophy. So that means it's one claim, it's one benefit, and then the claim is done. For example, like if I'm in a car accident and I break my leg, there's a benefit for a broken leg, and we'll pay that full benefit out. And our claim payments are made within usually 48 to 72 hours. So the member breaks his leg, submits a claim, they have all their money within a week, period. With a traditional plan, there'll be a benefit for the broken leg, but there'll also be benefits for rehab, and maybe X-rays, and maybe an ER visit, or and you can name the list of kind of expense codes. And the point being is that they have to submit those EOBs and those expenses every single time they come up. So that claim trail might go 6 months. And in our experience, and what we see and what we hear from our brokers, is that most employees, they don't have that discipline to continue to submit expenses.
Well, I've seen those kind of policies. I mean, it's
Yeah.
is it a scheduled benefit?
Right.
It's got specific things that you have
Correct.
to make sure.
So if you were to compare our product and our payouts to like what I'll call a traditional plan, because the traditional plan that's been written for 30 years is the latter. It's not a lump sum benefit. We don't hear people having the discipline to submit those claims. And reality is look, could that plan maybe pay more? It could maybe pay more, but only if they have the discipline to do that.
Sure.
Because our lump sum benefit is built to incorporate all those expenses that maybe another carrier has to require 6 months of expenses to deliver. We can just lump it all up in the first payment and we pay it out. Is it possible that if they do the other way, it's more? Maybe. But in our way, they're getting a quality benefit paid back within a reasonable amount of time, 1 week usually, and then they have their money, and the claim is done. And so it's really worked well for us. We have a lot of success with this benefit, and employees really seem to appreciate the simplicity of it.
Yeah, not as much paperwork to file
Correct.
if you're just getting it in a lump sum instead of trying to figure out.
Right.
I didn't have that, but I did have this.
Right.
And reading that schedule and trying to find all the documentation that they would need to file that claim could be
Right.
difficult too.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you kind of hit on the bottom part there. It says, no guesswork.
Less paperwork.
Less paperwork. I mean, and that's exactly how we kind of position it, and that's how we try to communicate to employees and educate them on how it works, and we tend to get really positive feedback on it.
That's great.
Yeah, and then these are just some high-level examples. I mean, we can certainly share the specific reimbursements, but again, if you were to compare our scheduled benefits to our competition, it compares very, very favorably for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think seeing it on a quote, looking at some of the value of those benefits,
Yep.
I think probably becomes clear for the employee that it's an affordable and attainable coverage.
Right.
And those may not be as scary as, say, critical illness, but those are all situations that can be disruptive in everyday life.
All right. I mean, if you have kids that are under the age of 16, the likelihood of a concussion is high.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
it's a $500 benefit,
Yeah.
and that's that pays for probably 3 years worth of premium or close to it. I mean, and so it's really been a benefit that's complemented our suite of products very well, and it really complements what most brokers and agents try to do for their clients.
And it's a little further back in our presentation here. We talked about the chart. We had the chart of the different sizes, but this can be written down to
Yes, same case size requirements. 5 employees eligible, 2 enrolled. Yeah,
voluntary.
Yeah, and I will tell you, each 3 of these products require. We like to see at least 10% participation, and that's kind of the underwriting guideline. But in our world, we're writing cases that have multiple lines of coverage. 3 or more
Sure.
usually, and we're in that environment. We're going to waive the 10%. We're going to go to 2 lives, and we're going to make it easy for the agent and easy for the employer to offer that product out in good faith, right, and get something done for them and their employees.
That's great.
Yep. The accident product also includes an embedded AD&D, an accidental death and dismemberment rider. So it's going to be $25,000 for the employee, $12,500 for the spouse, and an additional $6,250 for the child. This
is separate from, say, the core life and AD&D product. This is a separate benefit attached to the accident plan.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, exactly right. As we saw earlier, I mean, and you'll probably see another slide here in a second. Very similar, a story here. Coverage for employees, spouse, and kids. Now there is, I will tell you, with the accident product, there was a price point for the child election. But we've seen these. I mean, in fact, our pricing just recently came down to really competitive levels. Quite honestly, for all three tiers. It includes a wellness exam benefit as well, default at $50. There's some flexibility there. So
Is it stackable with the critical illness?
Yep, the same exact wellness exam will pay for both.
Okay.
So you can go to your doctor and have your one physical per year, have that one physical be applicable for both accident and critical illness, and we'll pay both benefits out.
Wow.
For employee, spouse,
and the
child.
kids. Wow.
Yeah, it really is. It's a nice feature, and again, also portable. So, yeah, just a really nice solution for us.
That's I did not know that.
Yeah.
This is why I like having you here, Greg. Every time you come here, I find something new. You probably tell me the same thing every time. It just.
Well, these are new, so yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got it. All right.
Yeah.
Good. I don't feel so bad.
And
this is new.
This
is not here last year.
Brand new within the last 6 months.
Okay.
Yes. Just rolled out. We are. This is one where we are still doing some filing and approvals in some states. Most states are approved by now. I couldn't tell you the ones that are kind of left over, but like here in the Midwest, this is filed and approved, and we're writing these coverages. Kansas, Missouri, Colorado, Iowa, things like that. In hospital indemnity, it's a product that's built for hospital confinement. So if you or your kids are confined to a hospital, it's going to pay a benefit for that. And then if there's prolonged stay, then there's a daily benefit for that continued hospital stay. And again, it's really built for. We go back to like that major medical event, right? So name what that is, whether it's as simple as COVID and they're in the hospital, or if it's a heart attack or a stroke or whatever. That first day hospital confinement, a lump sum benefit's going to be paid out. If it's prolonged, over a number of days, we're going to be paying a daily hospital, benefit for that as well. And then there's also, as you can see here, that there's additional payout, higher level benefit, but if it's something serious intensive care. There's also newborn nursery confinement. So like again, so it's you have a new mom with a new baby, we're going to pay $100 for that. There is some flexibility on what these numbers can be. This is the one product, and I didn't mention this before, but these are all fairly rigid products. I might call them shelf products. They're not shelf rated. What everything Principal does is fairly consistent in regards to the pricing of the plans. We do underwrite and price every plan within its own accord of the census and the demographic of the case. But the benefits are fairly rigid, with a few exceptions. I mentioned the wellness exam can fluctuate a little bit. Hospital indemnity, we can increase these payable benefits up a little bit. There's a little flexibility here, but this right here is a snapshot of really what the product looks like.
And it's HSA compatible. When we've seen a resurgence of HSA plans on the health side, for years the pricing differential just wasn't there, and then now we see a lot more employers starting to gravitate to an HSA offering. So this could be a gap filler there as
right.
well.
Everything we do is HSA compatible, period. Now I will tell you, if you want to kind of ask us for other options, and it's in the realm of non-HSA plans, we do have some plans that are non-HSA compatible. We don't market them much because we're not the medical carrier.
Sure. We
don't know what's going on the health insurance side, or we don't know what's going to happen going forward. So if we write a non-HSA plan today, and then 2 years from now the agent moves that plan, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll always default to HSA compliant, and it really makes the world easy for the agent and the client and the employer, because they don't really worry about what might happen next.
Sure.
Yeah.
And did I see? Well, it's right there again. Health screening.
Yeah.
The yearly
so
wellness benefits in there again.
A common slide. Again, coverage for employees and families. You got your health screening, and again, it's just the same. The singular event can pay for all three of these products' wellness exams. Which is really nice and a little unique in the industry, in my opinion. And then also portable. So again, these are all three products that really in the industry were built on the individual side of the house. There's some good carriers out there that do individual insurance that have kind of we mentioned commercials out before. that carriers, they've been around for a long time. They've been writing these products for a long time. They're built on employee ownership and employee really true portability because they're individual products. These are all group contracts, group price benefits, but with the ability for the employee to take these coverages with them if they want them, so which is nice.
Again, guaranteed issue. No, as long as it's timely enrollment.
Correct.
Guaranteed issue, and all those benefits are stackable.
Yep. Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, if I do the math with a family of 6.
Yeah.
At $50 a pop for a wellness exam, knowing that everybody's going in for their annual checkup, that's that's $300 a year per line of coverage.
Correct.
So if you got critical illness, accident, and hospital indemnity, I can't do the math that fast. Was that $900 a year?
Yeah.
I can't imagine the premium being much higher than that.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't say free, right? It's not free coverage, but potentially the offset in premium would be, or the premium could be offset by the benefit just under the wellness plan.
Very quickly, yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why didn't I sell these things when I was a broker?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, you should be selling them. So, so do yourself a favor. Make sure that you're looking at Principal for your supplemental needs, not just your core dental, vision, life, disability, but look at Principal for critical illness, accident, and hospital indemnity. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Any parting words for brokers as they embark in the craziness that's already upon us?
Well, I know it's fourth quarter. Go sell something. Go sell something. We all got to do that, right? It's go time.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Well, if we can help you with your Principal quotes or any questions you have on the proposals you have, be sure to reach out to our staff here at Legacy Brokers. Greg, once again, it's always a pleasure having you in.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Happy selling.
Thank you for watching this edition of our Carrier Product Update series. Visit our website to watch other episodes.